Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on this rooted baby lighted blonde on a natural brunette. So my client is naturally about a level 5. Some might even argue maybe like a light level 4. But we do love our bright buttery blonde, and that's what we've been doing on her for a while. She goes back and forth between like dimensional blonde or more like solid appearing blonde. So we've been doing a more solid one lately, and we've been loving it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you are interested in seeing more of this, then just keep watching. So right now I'm parting her off in like my pretty standard full coverage baby light placement. What I do is a mohawk along the natural part, and then I get the sides and the back all taken care of. Personally, for me, I don't like to do super intricate sectionings. I just feel like that adds unnecessary time. I really like to kind of more so foil going along the natural head, and I feel like with that, you just need to get like the base sections out of the way enough so that you can, work in a more organized manner, but yet not overcomplicating it. When I was in school, they taught super complex foiling patterns, and I kept wondering why it was taking me 8 years to foil for like even just a basic highlight. And yeah, once I kind of started just doing like my basic sectioning, it really helped out a lot. So what I always do too is I almost always start at the top of the head, at the top of the mohawk. One, it's nice because then that gets it. I'm able to do this mohawk section and not have any foils in my way. And then when I move to the sides, I just fold my mohawk foils up, so then there's no foils in the way for that either. And then also too, the top of the head, because there's no hair laying over it, so there's a very minimal natural heat coming from the scalp for these foils, so they process a little bit longer in my opinion too. And since again this is like the topmost part of the head, this is right at her part line, this is like the area that needs to be the brightest. So that's why 9 times out of 10 I'm either starting here, or if I am starting in the back, I'll have to do another video to show you guys how I'll break up the back in like half and do like the first half, and then I'll go through the mohawk. But anyway, I'm pretty much almost always starting somewhere along like the top half of the head, long story short. So as you guys see, what I'm doing here is I'm doing a few different foil patterns, or foil patterns, foil techniques, you know what I mean. I'm doing a mix of slices and very soft teasy lights and some soft baby lights as well. Right now I'm working on the money piece, so right here this is going to be pretty much all back-to-back slicing. But what you previously saw was just me again kind of like piggybacking back and forth between the three. And I really like to do this for a few different reasons. So for my client Tara here, we want a bold blonde, but it needs to be soft and have a good grow out because, again, like I said, she's naturally a level 5. So yeah, in theory, we could do all slices and then just root tap her and go on about our day. But I feel like you'll get the most maximum like softness of the grow out if you incorporate some slight baby lighting and some slight teasy lighting in it as well. If you see, I'll go back to teasy lighting here soon. I'm not doing a very strong, I hardly ever do a strong tease, even if I am doing like a more rooted balayage. I'm truly just like slightly pushing some of those like smaller baby hairs. I'm just pushing maybe like a centimeter or inch worth of them off of the foil to kind of help them too. Then when it does get pulled down, there's just a little bit of extra softness in that slice. I'm still doing slices for these teasy lights, and it just makes it a little bit more of a softer slice compared to like your traditional bold slice. Oh, that makes sense. You can kind of see even just right there when I did that, it's nothing too crazy. It just softens it up a little bit, really. And yeah, and like I said, I just pretty much go back and forth between slices and some very fine baby lighting. Everything pretty much has like, it's if I am, sorry, you probably hear my dog. Everything, even in my weaves and even in my teasing, I'm doing it where I'm leaving out as minimal of hair possible. So everything still has the appearance of a slice and it still has that bold appearance of it. But just doing that extra step of just doing like the slight weaves or the slight teasing, again, just adds a little bit of extra value to your services to, again, just make their placement, make their color as custom as possible, and make their grow out as soft as possible too. Tara actually moved around like 2-ish hours away, so I love that she still comes back to me, but our maintenance schedule is definitely a little bit different than it used to be. I was pretty much used to seeing her around every 8 weeks, 10 to 12 at like the max. But now that she's moved, it's a little bit more inconsistent. So we just want to make sure that whenever we are doing her hair, I'm gonna do something to give her the max value out of that service. Not that I wasn't before, but you just need to keep that in mind. Some questions that I will ask my clients when I'm trying to figure out like how to place the highlights and if I need a root tap or whatnot is I ask them like, how often do you like to get your hair done? Or how often after the service are you planning on getting your hair done? A lot of times they don't know, so I'll try to base it off of like if any like events are coming up. Like right now, I'm asking my clients, are we planning on getting our hair done again before or after Thanksgiving/Christmas, or is it going to be more so after the New Year? And that's a question I asked Tara, and she said that it very well could have been something where she might come back for the holidays, but she also might wait until after the New Year. So I wanted to make sure to do something that would possibly give her up to like 4 or 5 months of grow out. But just be realistic with your clients too. I've been doing Tara's hair for over 2 years, so she gets the gist. But I tell them, even for these more like more baby lighted appearing clients, they definitely can grow their hair out as long as everything's placed correctly and everything. The grow out will be nice and soft. I just always tell them like it'll grow out just more like a balayage though. And eventually it'll kind of make them appear like they do just have like more of a balayage and not as much of like a rooted blonde highlight. So if they're okay with those roots getting longer, that's fine with me. Figure out the best verbiage that works best for you and your clients. But like I said, that kind of works best for me. And it helps me figure out, again, like it helps me figure out placement. I can't talk today. Placement and what all we need to do to get them to the color that they want. But yet again, keeping their grow out in mind. So, as you guys see too, I will, when I'm doing like super packed baby lights like this, I will piggyback between the front and the back. Pretty much I just do, when I go through the back, when I start in the back, I pretty much go all the way up until I feel like I am starting to like have a hard time reaching. I'm pretty short, so I'm having to kind of go back and forth quite a bit. I'll work on the front, and then depending on where the highlights are starting to start to lay at, sometimes kind of like we're here, I was starting to have a hard time reaching from the front, so then I brought her to the back. And don't be afraid to move your clients' heads. I know it gets hard and you feel bad because they have a lot of foil sitting on top of their head, but just remember, I always tell them like it's really temporary. I try to go as quick as I can, especially like in the underneath sections or whatnot. Don't be afraid to move them around because again, you're trying to get them the best color possible. Like, yes, we're working for them, but they kind of have to work with us though too in order for us to get the best possible outcome for their hair. So now I'm moving on to the sides, and as you guys are seeing, I'm going along. I'm pretty much just taking diagonal back sections, and I really just go again based on like her natural head shape and her growth pattern. These are all pretty much our slices down here just because I feel like she gets a lot of extra depth underneath quite a bit. And I can't remember if we did a full or a half on her last time too, but again, she had quite a bit of depth. So I more so went back and forth with regular slicing and just the tease slicing too. I didn't really do a lot of weaves. I felt like that was going to start to like leave a little bit of too much dimension in between. And yeah, our natural like level 5, 6s, and even level 4s, if they're getting baby lights, like you got to pack those foils in. It's really hard when you're naturally a brunette and you're pretty medium to dark brunette. As you know, if you go pretty blonde, like there's very little room for forgiveness with that if you're trying to be a pretty solid blonde. So my level 5s that get the full baby lights, they're troopers with the foils in their head, man. I think even when I'm doing half heads on Tara, we still have like 90 foils in. So, let them know they're the foil warriors. That's for sure. But yeah, I'll let you guys keep on watching until I get to the root tapping part. Pretty much, again, just go along her head shape. I will say I apologize in advance. I believe I left out, I could not find for the life of me the clips on the other side of her head or in the back of her head. So you just get the top and the sides today. I'm sorry. I think I either lost the footage or I must have forgot to film it or something, or maybe I thought I was recording. I don't know. I filmed this like a month ago, and when I went to edit it, I looked everywhere for it and I couldn't find it. But I did the same thing on the other side, and then the back I did the same placement too. I just did more of a brick lay diagonal back pattern since I was working on the back of the head. So yeah, like I said, you guys get the gist. But anyway, so since she is a level 5 and a light level 4, her hair takes quite a minute to lift. Her lightener formula, I use just Extra Blonde from Oligo Black Light Lightener. That's their white lightener that lifts up to 9 levels. She likes to be, we do a nice like buttery, beigey, intentional warm blonde anyway, so I don't need to do any color correcting. I just need these guys to lift. She's normally lifting for at least minimum 30 minutes, but up to like 40, 45. So, yeah, I need all the lifting power that I can get. And I just started with 10. I did 10 volume up top, and then I moved my way up to 30, just so that everything processed at the same time. And then I also double protected her with K18 and Olaplex as well. And her hair still is super healthy. She just got a finer texture hair too, so I can tell it's that finer texture that could get damaged if it was pushed too far. So that's why I like to just, again, keep everything super protected. And then I also just lift her to a pure level 9, or of a 9 like yellow. So past gold, but not banana yellow. So just the true like yellow. I hope that makes sense. Something that is enough where I need, since we do an intentional warm blonde, I don't want it to be too banana yellow because then I'm having to add in too many fillers too. Here's the raw lift. Here's what we can see too. Again, not too gold, but not too white yellow either. And then for her root tap, I tried to get a good video of it. I really kind of sucked at it, but you guys kind of are going to get the gist here. You're going to see it in a second. So like I said, she's naturally level 5, but we don't want to appear like a shadow rooted like level 5. So a good tip I have, some stylists are going to agree with me, some are not. But what I do is I actually bump up her shadow root to a level 6. And I use 6N and 6NB from Calura Gloss. The reason why is because, again, this kind of helps to soften her root. We know she has to still have some kind of depth at her root, but doing a more level 6 on those highlights will make her kind of altogether appear a little bit lighter. Just like in this after right here, she looks a lot, it's still rooted, but it's a lot it's a lot lighter of a natural base. Just be sure you tell all your clients their grow out will still be just as soft. However, since they are going to have like their natural roots coming in along with like that level 6 shadow root, they're gonna probably feel the need to get their hair done sooner than if they were doing a traditional balayage, or if they did drag down their natural, like full natural root. I hope that makes sense. I can go over that more in another video if you want. Like I said, that's kind of controversial. Some stylists don't like to do that. My clients love it though too. I do it when needed. But anyway, here's her after. So gorgeous. I'm going to leave her toner formula listed down in the description below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.